Good evening, a very warm welcome to TV47 Weekend, wherever you may just be joining us from. My name is Grace Josephine. We have a lot lined up for you, but first things first, a look at our top stories tonight. Tonight,
they have a problem with support given to border circle. They have problem support given to small traders, Mama Mboga.
Who is more corrupt? DP Ruto now hits back at ODM boss Raila Odinga over corruption allegations.
Sisi tukishika tamu ya utawala hao wezi wataingia ndani wote.
Politicians and corruption.
BBI or not BBI, constitutional referendum or no referendum, can the country at least do something to stop thieves?
Also tonight, taking stock of the BBI appeal hearing, ODM boss Raila Odinga meets BBI appeal hearing counsel James Orengo and Otiende Amolo as the country awaits a ruling on the BBI appeal hearing this month.
Mwenyezi Mungu atashika ile majaji wafanye ile ruling vizuri, BBI irudi.
Plus, Garissa is thirsty. Garissa County residents are facing an acute water shortage as drought continues to ravage the area.
Maji hakuna. Jana mlilia watoto ile ya 120. Nasikia kuna maji, kuna biashara, hakuna chochote.
A very warm welcome once again to this broadcast. Remember, you can stream us live. That is at TV47 Kenya on Facebook. Garissa County residents are facing an acute water shortage as drought continues to ravage the area. A 20-litre jerrycan of water is currently retailing at 30 shillings, making it difficult for a majority of residents to access water, as Sharon Baranga reports.
With every step, they are hopeful that they are drawing near a source of water. It is a daily struggle that inhabitants of Nuno and Abdi Samat villages in Garissa County say they have become accustomed to. The precious commodity is scarce. Taps have run dry.
Maji ya huku ni chumvi na pamba. Maji watu wanatumia ngamia, ng'ombe, mbuzi ni mahali moja tu peke yake.
Maji hakuna. Jana mlilia watoto ile ya 120. Nasikia kuna maji, kuna biashara, hakuna chochote.
Na kila siku tunanunua maji ya mtungi tunapeleka kwa nyumba. Na maji tukinunua hapa kupeleka kwa nyumba tunalibisha 250 kwenda kwangu. Na ile shida tuko naye tangu hii government ya sijui county tumepewa kure up to now hakuna siku tumetosheka na maji.
The blue trucks crisscrossing Garissa are a symbol of hope to many as they come with a promise of quenching their thirst, only to find out that they are passing clouds only accessible to them with a financial muscle.
Na tumeshinda kununua hii watapuza na kila mahali ni watapuza, ukiitisha moja inaambiwa ulipe 6,000. Na hiyo 6,000 amekuwa ngumu kwetu kupata.
Maji ya gari ni pesa mingi, 20,000. Maji ya kukunywa.
Na wananchi wamekuwa wengi ya kwamba almost watu wale wanaishi hapa ni wengi sana. Na hii maji haitoshi. So tumekuwa tunataka kama mnaweza tuongezea maji. Tungeomba mtuongezee.
The residents are worried that soon they will start losing their source of livelihood, their livestock, due to lack of water. The most affected businesses are hotels, lodgings and car wash. Residents believe that the crisis has been created by county officials in the Ministry of Water and water vendors who are now making a killing from the business. Allegations the county's executive member in the Ministry of Water has dismissed, saying the vendors are private business people who are permitted to sell their precious commodity to willing buyers.
Na hata sasa tuliona Hii watu wa Watapuksi na hiyo watu ya sijui Gawasko kama ameelewana. Siku hizi vile tuliona. Because kila mahali anatembea gari ya maji tu. Lakini hatuoni maji ile inakuja na upatio watu. Na hakuna serikali siku hizi, tuliona hata siku moja anakuletea maji ya free.
In Nuno and Abdisamat villages of Garissa County, people sleep in shifts as they keep watch, waiting for water to start trickling again from their taps. Sharon Baranga, TV47.
Moving on, just a day after the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, declared his candidature in next year's presidential elections, a section of Deputy President Ruto allies in Embu County have shifted from Ruto's Tanga to Muturi's camp, promising to back him for the top seat, as Mike Kagwongo reports.
Led by Mbeere North MP Muriuki Jagahwa, the leaders have affirmed that the politics of Mount Kenya East will be instrumental in next year's presidential vote. Leaders from the region are set to meet in the coming days to affirm their support for Muturi.
The step that you have taken as our son, Nanguga, our son, is a member of Mount Kenya East. You first dealt with the cultural groups. You are anointed the spokesperson for Mount Kenya East.
National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi formally declared his August 2022 presidential bid. Speaking at his rural home in Kanyuabora in Embu County on Saturday, when he met religious leaders from Mount Kenya East, Muturi said he is confident that he will clinch the top seat. Muturi met a section of leaders from Meru, Embu and Tharaka-Nithi counties on Saturday, drumming up support for his bid.
Tumeketi na yeye tukiwa viongozi wa Mount Kenya East na tukasema kinaganaga na siku moja tukasema tunataka yeye atusimamie in national politics.
However, Muturi has pleaded with the church to support him and cautioned them to be aware of hypocritical leaders who are blackmailing Kenyans while in churches.
Hatuwezi kuwa sisi ni viongozi ambao kila siku tunakuja tunataka mtuombee, lakini mkitoa makosa we turn against you. We start telling you you are now getting into politics. But even as politicians, hatuoni haya kuja kusema tuombee, lakini mkiposoa tunawaambia hapana, wacheni, mmeingilia siasa sasa. I'm urging the church, you must help us to bring back order, good morality and values that define ourselves as a people.
For TV47, I'm Mike Kagwongo.
Still on matters politics, the BBI proponents have continued to drum up support for the constitutional amendment bill, even as the country awaits the Court of Appeal's ruling after last week's appeal hearings. Baringo Senator Gideon Moi says the Court of Appeal should quash the High Court ruling that nullified the entire BBI process, as ODM leader Raila Odinga and Kotu SG Francis Atwoli met the counsel James Orengo and Otiende Amolo.
As the country awaits the ruling on the BBI appeal hearing to be delivered on 20th of this month, appellants lead counsels in the case James Orengo and Otiende Amolo met ODM boss Raila Odinga in Mombasa. In a simple tweet, they said the lunch meeting was for appraisal and debrief. They also met Secretary General Francis Atwoli, one of the greatest supporters of the constitutional amendment process. Speaking at his Mogosho home on Sunday, Baringo Senator Gideon Moi, a proponent of BBI, said the court should bring back BBI, saying it will benefit Kenyans.
Unajua mbele iko nini? Iko na kazi. Na tunatarajia, tunatuomba Mwenyezi Mungu kwamba Mwenyezi Mungu atashika ile majaji. Wafanye ile ruling nzuri. BBI irudi. Ndio. Mogotio ibaki. Unajua bila BBI Mogotio inaenda. So tuombe BBI kuje Mogotio hii.
The Court of Appeal will issue a judgment on the Building Bridges Initiative petition on August 20th. The 7-judge bench, which concluded a 4-day hearing on Friday that witnessed lawyers from both sides mount spirited arguments, will take 49 days to ready the ruling after declining a request to give an early date. The August 2022 general election is fast approaching, and election experts have warned that the process is no longer tenable. Lekishon Laban, TV47.
Moving on, Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja now wants the government to rescind its decision to raise taxes at a time when many Kenyans are feeling the heat of COVID-19 pandemic. Sakaja says by raising the taxes, the government is pressing the common man even harder. ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi has asked Treasury CS Ukur Yatani to go slow on Kenyans, promising to lower taxes if he becomes president.
Idea mbaya kufikiria ati ukiongeza ushuru ama tax, by raising taxes you collect money. That is poor mathematics. Saa ingine ukipunguza you increase compliance. Watu waone ile kitu tax inafanya. Mimi naomba saa hizi, in fact our MPs nimewatambulisha, because budget is done in the National Assembly. We must lower taxes to Kenyans because Kenyans are suffering and Kenyans have nothing in their pocket. Tupunguze kidogo, watu wawe na nafasi.
People are hurting. And I want to tell you, if God grants me the opportunity to be the leader of this country, I will lower the taxes. Tutapunguza ushuru. How will we lower the taxes? We shall fight corruption. How will we lower the taxes? We shall get rid of wastage. And we shall lower the taxes.
A quarter past the hour, and that report brings us to our first breather. Don't go too far away, as we have a lot more lined up for you.
So, did you hear about the farmer who was trying dairy farming? Turns out he didn't have mushroom. Why watch hizo? I know I'm utterly hilarious from my head tomatoes. Nitaachana kudragon na hizi farming jokes basi. I was only trying kukuchekesha. Okay, I'll stop. I know my jokes are not very funny. But I know you'll want to know the different kinds of farming we have here on Kilimo Diaries. Join me, Sandra Wahito, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on TV47.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Why crocodile inaweza tokea juu. Hiyo sijakula hata unataka nikufe kabla ni. I don't like it. I don't. Miss Kai na hipo ikitokelezea ivuruche simu yangu. No, ni sawa. Those who know me will tell you I'm not a lover of large volumes of water. But for you, we roam the different parts of the country and beyond just to make sure that we bring you the experience. We educate you, we entertain you, and we inform you.
That it's not political and it can do something.
As we sail the boat of Morning Cafe to enlighten you, entertain you, and inform you every Monday to Friday, only on TV47.
Munisikize. Kwanza nataka kusema jambo moja. Tumepata mgeni ambaye anaitwa Beatrice, ingia kwenye kikundi hiki. Mnafurahia? Huyu ndio dada Beatrice. Japo kwa kuna mama tu mmoja anaitwa What? Elvis, come here.
Washer Ultra Detergent, unlike your ordinary washing powder, is formulated with 3D enzyme.
A very warm welcome back. Just a day after ODM leader Raila Odinga accused Deputy President William Ruto of corruption and stealing from public coffers, the second in command has hit back at Odinga, claiming he led a corrupt government. The DP says the opposition boss is part of the woes facing the current ruling Jubilee government, accusing him of hijacking the government's agenda. Paul Kirobi with the details.
Just a day after ODM boss Raila Odinga accused Deputy President of corruption, DP Ruto has hit back. Ruto now claiming that Raila should be blamed for the woes facing the Jubilee government, accusing him of crippling the government agenda.
With support given to the church, they have a problem with support given to Boda Sacco. They have problem support given to small traders, Mama Mboga, because they have contempt for the weak and the poor.
On Saturday, ODM boss Raila Odinga attacked Ruto over his mega cash donations to churches and welfare groups. Raila claiming that the project he was part of during the Grand Coalition government were hijacked and prices inflated.
Sasa unaona heo vile anapiga kifua. Sisi tukishika tamu ya utawala hao wezi wataingia ndani wote.
However, the DP in retaliation during a church service in Umoja said Odinga's tenure in government was characterized by corruption and theft of money meant for the youth. Ruto added that he will not be ashamed of making donations in churches and helping Kenyans.
Wameibia watu wagonjwa kupitia kwa ile inaitwa COVID billionaires. Sasa mkiwa serikali mnaiba, mkiwa upinzani mnaiba. And the irony of the whole of this thing is that it is only in Kenya. It is only in Kenya where the opposition pretends to run the government.
At the point we are, we have seen people trying to mobilize communities together to move for a particular direction. Kindly, Kenyans, I urge you, let us not be swayed to that direction.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, however, wants corruption leaders barred from seeking elective positions. In his speech, Kalonzo insisted that aspirants with integrity issues should be disqualified.
BBI or no BBI, constitutional referendum or no referendum, can the country at least do something to stop thieves?
In a media sustainability convention organized by the Kenya Media Sector Working Group on Saturday, July 3rd, Chebukati said the constitution barred the electoral board from striking out aspirants' name from the ballot until corruption or criminal cases they are facing are resolved at the highest possible court.
Regulations kadhaa ambayo itakuwa inawasaidia polisi na prosecutors watakavyoweza kuendesha kazi zao. Tumekutana pia na watu civil society.
Kalonzo maintained that all leaders should be properly vetted before being cleared to run. Kalonzo spoke at St. Jude Catholic Church in Machakos, where he attended a worship service. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
It is 14 months to next year's general elections, and the Jubilee government is working round the clock to cement President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy through the Big Four agenda. However, Deputy President William Ruto has set the ball rolling with his presidential campaigns. even before the Jubilee government exits, having not achieved what he, alongside President Kenyatta, promised Kenyans. Mwangi Maina reports.
13 months to next year's general election, and the Jubilee government is somehow yet to implement all of the Big Four agenda they promised to Kenyans during their second term. Neither did the same government deliver in all its promises in the first term of 2013 to 2017. Do you, for example, remember the laptop project or the 6 and later 9 stadia promised in 2013? Oh, there was the 1 million jobs for the youth. Fast forward to 2017, the promise was almost similar.
Vijana wa Kenya tena hawataendelea kuwa ndio sura ya njaa na umaskini. Tutabadilisha uchumi wa Kenya isiwe tena ni uchumi ya watu wachache kujivunia na watu vijana mamilioni kuvumilia. Itakuwa ni uchumi ambao kila Mkenya atajumuisha, mahasla, wale wanafanya kiosk, wale wanasukuma mkokoteni, watapata nafasi ya kuchangia kubadilisha uchumi wa Kenya.
Deputy President is, however, accusing the opposition for running alleged corruption cartels and frustrating the government transformative agenda, while the government itself has not fully lived to its promises to Kenyans. It is another year of promises.
Tutaweka pesa ya serikali shilingi bilioni 30 katika kazi hiyo kusaidia watu wa chini katika ile program ya bottom up.
The promises of a universal health coverage, affordable housing, food security and manufacturing have not been fully achieved as the government envisioned, with the deputy president accusing the opposition of hijacking the president's agenda.
It is only in Kenya where the opposition pretends to run the government. And the opposition runs corruption cartels in government. And the same opposition pretends to run lectures on how to fight corruption.
Even as Ruto promises a government of hustlers, the common mwananchi is reeling from effects of COVID-19 pandemic on the economy, a heavy tax burden, and an unsustainable wage bill. This ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi says it is not the solution bedeviling Kenya. Musalia says bottom-up approach is a mirage, and the solution Kenya require is a fight against graft and wastage of public resources.
Wengine wanatoka huko wanasema economy ya bottoms up. Hii Kiingereza kingi. You're confusing us. Mwingine anasema bottoms up, mwingine anasema trickle down. My friend, wachana na hii maneno. Ni ufisadi na watu kupora mali. Tuzibe hayo mashimo, tuachane na mambo ya bottoms up, tuachane na mambo ya trickle down.
On several occasions, the president has accused his deputy of running ahead of time instead of focusing on his current role as a principal assistant to the president. The president has castigated Ruto for taking credit of government development track record, while at the same time opposing the same government. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Moving on, in just 10 days, Kiambaa residents will be heading for a by-election, with political parties already intensifying their campaigns in the area. Willie Dennis Njiru reports.
Joseph was called by the servants.
As the ruling party Jubilee strives to retain the Kiambaa parliamentary seat in just a fortnight, it is facing a stiff competition from DP Ruto's affiliated UDA.
Tumeamua kabisa.
The two parties have had their inroads throughout the constituency, advancing their campaigns.
Chama chake kimebakia mtu anaitwa Murathe na Atwali, wanapeleka sisi kwa Raila. Mtaitikia? Mtaenda kwa Raila? Sisi tumesema ya kwamba tunataka tukae mahali tuliambiwa ya Ruto 10 ya 10, si ndio? Na yule candidate ako katika hiyo ni huyu kijana, mchagua yeye. Chama ni gani?
The UDA lead team accused their opponents of interfering with their campaigns to the villages, citing sabotage in destruction of food donations aimed at lifting the well-being of their supporters.
Wanatumia ma-chiefs, wanatumia masabu chiefs, na wanatumia hata chakula ile inafaa kupeanwa wakati ya corona. Pesa yote ile waliiba wakati ya corona wamekuja kufanya nao kampeni hapa.
Ile mambo ya gas inakuwa 350 shillings inaongezeka. Mambo ya airtime, hiyo ni serikali ambayo inajali Wanjiko ama haimjali? Washindwe.
Following the adulteration, the UDA team is calling upon the local security team to advance its operations on the allegations.
Tuambie DCI Kinoti, wacha kusumbuka ukikimbizana na wanasiasa. Kuja shika hawa kora wenye wanataka kuroga unga ambayo inapewa wananchi wenye wako na njaa.
On their part, Jubilee team that spoke on the onset of a prayer rally stated that peaceful elections was paramount, devoid of political stand, emphasizing that all factions must ensure restraint of unusual behavior among supporters.
Kwa leo tulisema tukuwe na maombi, ndio wakati huu tuombee amani, ndio hata wale wote wanataka kiti ya Kiambaa tuwaulize tuungane mkono kuweka amani.
Tunamuomba Mungu ya kwamba tuwe na uchaguzi mzuri ukiwa na amani, na ili kwa kila mmoja ama kwa kila pahali tulipo kuwe na amani ya Mungu.
Both teams strive to deliver the seat to either the ruling party that is headed by the President Uhuru Kenyatta or the UDA that is affiliated to the Deputy President William Ruto. For TV47, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
28 minutes past the hour and we take another very short breather. Don't go too far away. Coming up, are Mudavadi and Kalonzo in a dilemma? Well, we take a look at the 2022 game plan.
So, did you hear about the farmer who was trying dairy farming? Turns out he didn't have mushroom. Why watch hizo? I know I'm utterly hilarious from my head tomatoes. Nitaachana kudragon na hizi farming jokes basi. I was only trying kukuchekesha. Okay, I'll stop. I know my jokes are not very funny. But I know you'll want to know the different kinds of farming we have here on Kilimo Diaries. Join me, Sandra Wahito, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on TV47.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Why crocodile inaweza tokea juu. Hiyo sijakula hata unataka nikufe kabla ni. I don't like it. I don't. Miss Kai na hipo ikitokelezea ivuruche simu yangu. No, ni sawa. Those who know me will tell you I'm not a lover of large volumes of water. But for you, we roam the different parts of the country and beyond just to make sure that we bring you the experience. We educate you, we entertain you, and we inform you.
That it's not political and it can do something.
As we sail the boat of Morning Cafe to enlighten you, entertain you, and inform you every Monday to Friday only on TV47.
Munisikize. Kwanza nataka kusema jambo moja. Tumepata mgeni ambaye anaitwa Beatrice, ameingia kwenye kikundi hiki. Mnafurahia? Huyu ndio dada Beatrice. Japo kwa kuna mama tu mmoja anaitwa
Elvis, come here.
The Home of Untold Stories.
Thank you for keeping it TV47. Now moving on, negotiations for new political outfits ahead of the 2022 general election has recently crowded the political atmosphere. Jubilee Party is set to sign a pre-election agreement with former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's ODM. KANU chairperson Gideon Moi, who was the designated fourth One Kenya Alliance co-principal, was recently said to be pulling out of the alliance to allegedly write an agreement with ODM on the advice of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The move has since jeopardized ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi's and his Wiper counterpart Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential ambitions. But as Musa Salah reports, President Uhuru Kenyatta's sudden favorism to Odinga could just be a choreographed dance to Kenyatta's tune, leaving Odinga for a rude shock in the months leading to the August polls.
Reports that top KANU echelons are at the advanced stages of concluding negotiations with ODM leader Raila Odinga's men on express instructions from President Uhuru Kenyatta has disconfigured the amorphous One Kenya Alliance, throwing ANC's Musalia Mudavadi and Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential ambitions into jeopardy as talks over coalitions and mergers gain momentum ahead of the 2022 polls.
See, One Kenya Alliance is still at the formative stages. It suffered a small blow with the stoppage of BBI, because it was more moving towards uniting Kenyans. Let's team up together, let's get this BBI thing, and perhaps it was going to define the formation that will come within the framework of the new dispensation post-BBI.
Until such a time when the party takes a decision, and I think it's going to be very soon, to vacate NAS Alliance, is when we can be able to enter into conversations with, forming new alliances with new partners. At the moment, the question of One Kenya Alliance, it is a concept. It is the One Kenya Alliance has not been solidly put together. It is still a concept, and therefore I cannot be able to say much that the party has not signed any agreement in One Kenya Alliance.
The One Kenya Alliance is more focused on what happens post-2022, right? As of now, he's in a coalition with Jubilee, so he's already part of Jubilee. And I think for him, it's a natural progression into the future that why do I want to leave Jubilee to move into another alliance, right? I might as well stick within the Jubilee. As well as seeing Jubilee is also seeing signs of welcoming other parties. So why go out and then come back in? Just stay within. Yeah? His issue has been his KANU as a party. He would like to see KANU working with Jubilee.
But having shadowed Odinga as his running mate in both the 2013 and 2017 general elections, Musyoka, not mincing his words, says that it will be impossible for him to back Odinga for the third time. Musyoka's Wiper has an existing agreement with President Kenyatta's ruling Jubilee Party, which has hinted at signing a pre-election coalition with ODM, further complicating Musyoka's ambitions in the already crowded soon-to-be alliance.
The 2022 election is going to be a very different election, very unlike anything that we have seen. If you remember, in our short history with multi-parties, starting in 1992, coalitions have always been formed on the basis of tribal groupings, so that you have a tribal kingpin from one corner of the country who gets together with another tribal kingpin from another part of the country, and they form a coalition. But what we're seeing shaping up for 2022 is going to be slightly different.
We are likely to be where we were in 2002,
especially in 2002, where we're going to have members of parliament from very many political parties. Because people have realized these political parties do not necessarily mean good leadership. And watch this space, that is what is going to happen. Because people are tired of following individuals.
However, Musyoka is not the only NASA core principal that is bitter with Odinga's betrayal in his quest to quench his thirst for power. Mudavadi's ANC also says it will get into bed with Odinga's ODM again if only Odinga rallies behind Mudavadi for president next year.
Wiper has already got a pact with Jubilee, right? Now ODM is working on a potential coalition with Jubilee, right? So everyone is, coalescing towards Jubilee. So it's almost like why come as a team instead of individually? Because negotiations are done on an individual level. Yeah? All politics is local.
He betrayed the struggles of millions of Kenyans who were journeying to Canaan to eat milk and honey. And now he's in Canaan eating milk and honey alone. So this is the betrayal that we want to avoid going forward. So we are ready to work with Raila Odinga if he is ready to support Musalia Mudavadi for presidency.
The issue is, and the tragedy that these people are, I think every one of them is wasting Kenyans' time with all these alliances today and tomorrow, is that all of them wants to be presidents. And in fact, what is now making them come together or disintegrate is not the issues affecting Kenyans, but the issue affecting their individual positioning as the president of the nation.
Once Kenya's fierce opposition leader, Odinga has toned down on his vicious attacks against the government since shaking hands with President Kenyatta in 2018. Since then, the bromance between Kenyatta and Odinga has flourished, raising Odinga's hopes of taking over the House on the Hill come 2022, with the hope of getting support from Kenyatta's backyard.
Niliangalia Kibaki alikuwa ako na experience ya kutosha wakati huu. Wengine nasema tu Raila hataki wa Kikuyu. Wakati nilikuwa nasema Kibaki tosha, sikujua yeye ni Mkikuyu. Nilikuwa nafikiri yeye ni Mjaluo au Mluhya. Sinijua yeye ni Mkikuyu. Lakini nikasema Kikuyu ni Mkenya.
It is argued that the Kenyatta-Odinga bromance could be a dance choreographed to Kenyatta's tune as he concludes his second term.
It is in his interest that as much as possible, even all these political parties come together to support his agenda until 2022. So when he talks of working with, first of all, we must now look at within what time span are we talking of? Is it during his term or post his term? Now, post 2022, different dimensions will come up.
With Odinga and Moi out of their plans, Kalonzo, Mudavadi and Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula have been left scratching their heads. The trio could join Deputy President William Ruto's camp to challenge a possible Odinga-Kenyatta alliance, not ruling out the possibility of joining the rest on a new alliance to their name.
In fact, we have not seen the last of these formations. This is only the beginning. Remember, the elections are supposed to be 11 months from today? So there are going to be so many other alliances.
So it's still very early in the day. The defections you're seeing, people moving away from their political parties and joining parties that they know have done the work on the ground and are headed to a win, will keep continuing.
Most unfortunate bit is that our political parties mainly are meant just to make people go to the elections and that's it. But for now, it's still early for coalitions. We are in July. By the time we get to next year, hata kuna chama ingine ya mjumla labda mtasikia imekuja.
Although politicians from across the political divide argue it is too early to picture who will be what in the race to State House next year, the 2022 presidential race is expected to be a three-horse race, even as aspirants go back to the drawing board to pick their teams. Musa Salah, TV47.
On to matters health. The World Health Organization has urged countries to vaccinate more people against COVID-19, warning that COVID-19 Delta variant has been detected in at least 98 countries and continues to evolve and mutate. Speaking during a media briefing, WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom said the world is witnessing a very dangerous phase compounded by the rapid transmission of the Delta variant, as Andrew Kilemi reports.
COVID-19 Delta variant is quickly becoming the dominant strain in many countries and continues to evolve and mutate, with the World Health Organization warning that Africa is in the most dangerous phase of the pandemic.
In those countries with low vaccination coverage, terrible scenes of hospitals overflowing are again becoming the norm. But no country on earth is out of the woods yet. The Delta variant is dangerous and is continuing to evolve and mutate, which requires constant evaluation and careful adjustment of the public health response.
Speaking during a bi-weekly media briefing, WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom said the Delta variant, which was identified in India, has been detected in at least 98 countries and is spreading quickly in countries with low and high vaccine dose rate.
By the end of this September, we're calling on leaders to vaccinate at least 10% of people in all countries. This would protect health workers and those at most risk, effectively ending the acute stage of the pandemic and saving a lot of lives.
WHO further underlining that there are essentially two ways for countries to lower the surging COVID-19 numbers: public health and social measures like strategic testing and early case detection among them.
Isolation and clinical care remain critical, as well as masking, physical distance, avoiding crowded places, and keeping indoor areas well ventilated are the basis for the response.
Data from the Ministry of Health indicate that a total of 1,473,869 vaccines have so far been administered across the country. 277 people have tested positive for coronavirus from a sample size of 3,796 tested in the last 24 hours. This bringing the total confirmed positive cases to 185,868. 4 patients have succumbed to the disease in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of fatalities to 3,675. 699 people have recovered in the last 24 hours. The total recoveries now stand at 127,625. Andrin Kilemi, TV47.
Elsewhere, transshipment operations may soon resume at the Lamu port after the dock acquired special equipment that will facilitate the expansion of its operations. The much-awaited equipment, among them load trailers and extension cargo handlers, arrived at the port today. And as Mario Mwacharo, Kenyans have been urged to take advantage of the opportunities provided to invest in the LAPSSET project.
According to Captain Geoffrey Namadoa, transshipment was halted awaiting the arrival of special equipment which the port has now acquired so as to expand its operations.
Meli nyingi sana zinataka kuja bandari ya port ya bandari ya Lamu. Lakini wote walikuwa na ngoja kwanza tulete hivi vifaa ambao mnaona hapa nyuma. Na kwa sasa kwa mwezi huu meli ya kwanza ambayo itaingia hapa ni meli ya kutoka CMA-CGM ambapo kwa saa hizi iko Reunion inaendelea kupakia. Wameshikana pamoja na Lamu Shipping Company ambayo iko na meli yao inaitwa AM1. AM1 italete mizigo ambayo itakuwa imepakia kutoka Zanzibar. Tunaitarajia itakuja wakati wote wiki ijayo. Baada hapo meli kubwa ambayo ni ya CMA-CGM itakuja ipakie mizigo hiyo ikipeleka upande wa Far East.
The construction of the remaining 2 berths is ongoing to expand operations and create employment opportunities for both the locals and investors.
The local people will have an immediate benefit in terms of business, and even wale watu ambao wanatoka upande mwingine wa Kenya, they'll also have an opportunity to participate Ya pili, the immediate local people, nikisema local people na maanisha watu wa Lamu County, watu wa Tana River County, watu wa kutoka hata mbali mpaka Garissa.
County Commissioner Irungu Macharia has urged Kenyans to take advantage of the opportunities provided to invest in the LAPSSET project.
Yangu ni kutoa wito kwa wote ambao wako wanatusikiza, wanatuona wakiwa katika kaunti yetu ya Lamu, katika taifa letu, katika kimataifa na sehemu yote ya dunia kwa ujumla, kwamba waje Lamu tufanye biashara, watumie bandari yetu sababu usalama uko wa kutosha.
Construction of the Lamu port began in 2016 and is expected to boost Kenya's status as a transport and logistics hub in Africa. Mariam Mwacharo, TV47, Lamu County.
Moving on, a family in Mailitri village in Njoro sub-county in Nakuru is calling for help from well-wishers to aid their kin out of the Kijabe hospital, who is held up following an accumulated bill that is rising by 5,000 shillings on a daily basis. Willie Dennis Njiru has a story from Nakuru County.
John Loyel Onyapida has been held at the Kijabe hospital for a month now since he was discharged on May 5th following a hospital bill he has accumulated over a stomach operation. He was brought to the hospital by PSV operators from a matatu that he boarded from Nairobi to his home in Njoro, Nakuru County, citing closeness to the next available medical service.
Hatukuelewa haraka kwa sababu alikuwa pia mgonjwa wako anajielewa hata kupeana details zake. Baadaye nilipojua nilienda hakika pale hospitalini, nikapata hospitali washamfanya operation.
Walimuangalia na mashini wakaona mara yake imejikunja, so lazima ange operatiwa ndio ikatwe awekwe pipe. So akakaa siku kama 5. Wiki yenye ilifuata Jumanne ndio akapeleka operation.
The family would be informed days later of Loyer's condition and that he was under treatment at the facility with a little action to transfer him to a hospital of choice.
Ugonjwa wake ulianza kitambo. Tumegengana naye mpaka ikafikia mahali ambapo imefikia. Kwa hivyo hata ile pesa ambayo tulikuwa naye hapo mbele tulikuwa tumetumia kwa sababu ya ugonjwa wake wa tumbo.
Bili yake imekuwa kubwa sana. Na kulingana na kiwango na uwezo wa familia, haija kuwa na uwezo wa kuweza kujikimu na pia waweze kusaidia ndugu huyo.
Lonyapida has called this facility home for the past 40 days where he is already taken ill and discharged on 5th June, but the bill continues to accumulate by 5,000 shillings on a daily basis.
Kila siku inazaa pesa kwa sababu kwa siku moja analala pale ni 5,000 na 500 ati akiguzwa tu hivyo kidogo kuangaliwa ni 500. Sasa inajiongeza tu kila siku, hata leo hivi vile tunaongea inajiongeza.
Kuna siku nitoesha hiyo nini bill ikakuwa 230. Nikakaa siku 2 ya 3 kwenda ikakuwa 252. So inazaa 5 something. Around 6-5 something hapo.
The family now hopes that well-wishers to whom they are optimistic will come to their attention will aid them out.
Familia hii ni familia ambayo haina njia nyingine ya kujikimu.
Kama ni kondoo nimeuza zimeisha, kuku nilishika zikaisha, hakuna chochote imebaki kwa hii boma.
Reporting for TV47 from Nakuru County, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
81% of Kenyans beat KRA's June deadline and filed their tax returns on time, according to a nationwide survey by research firm OnePulse Kenya. 19% of Kenyans risk being penalized by the taxman for failing to file their returns. However, any registered business and adult that fails to honor the KRA June deadline of filing their tax returns is liable for prosecution by the government. Listen in. A majority of Kenyans filed their returns before the 30th of June 2021, which salvaged them from paying principal taxes, along with a penalty and accrued interest. This is according to a national survey by OnePulse, a consumer survey firm that collects insights in real time through the OnePulse mobile app. The study was conducted between Monday the 28th of June through to Friday the 2nd of July, confirming that 81% of respondents filed their tax returns while 19% did not.
Mimi nimefile lakini nilifile kwa shida.
Mambo ya ushuru, mimi sihusiani na ushuru.
Regarding the tax return, yes, we have returned. We have made the return.
Despite the fact that a majority of Kenyans honored their obligations and paid their taxes, the Kenya Revenue Authority has been unable to meet its target, as Nixon Omondi, the lead team on digital tax, explains.
Now, we know we are under the pandemic. Most likely consumption is low. Investments is also low. People starting new businesses might not be as vibrant as before. I'm sure you've seen a number of businesses close. That is lost tax. Yes. So there are those factors, whether economic or natural causes, that will lead to reduction in collection of tax. However, as I mentioned, we are also trying to expand the tax base. We are trying to ensure that those who have not been within the tax bracket should also come in.
The survey further revealed that 96% of those who submitted their returns filed them digitally, while 4% filed them manually.
Nilifile returns zangu on April kwa Saiba. Nilifile mwenyewe but nilienda Saiba.
Kuwa na hiyo nia kabisa ya kufile returns isipokuwa nimeenda kuchelewa.
This as the taxman strives to roll out the traditional technique of filing taxes manually.
No longer accept manual returns. So we don't have manual returns anymore.
One Pulse also demonstrated that 90% of Kenyans know the process of filing their returns digitally. However, 7% do not, while 3% have never heard of the process.
Maneno ya return, watu wengi hawajajua, wengi hata wajui hiyo ni nini, hata wajiandika, hata mimi mwenyewe sijairudisha hiyo kitu. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni kitu ambayo watu wanataka kukaa chini wafundishwe.
Mambo ya filing sijui na sijui sijarifanya returning this year, na hiyo ya digital sielewi vile inaendelea.
2 weeks ago, Kenyans breathed a sigh of relief after members of parliament rejected a raft of taxes proposed by Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani in his 3.6 trillion shillings 2021-2022 financial year budget, arguing that this would burden struggling Kenyans. Let's cross over to what's happening in the world of sports. Gor Mahia edged out Aki rivals AFC Leopards on post-match penalties at the Nyayo Stadium on Sunday afternoon to win the FKF Cup for an 8th time. Goalkeeper Gad Matthews produced heroic shoutout saves as Gor Mahia sealed a return to the CAF Confederations Cup. Julius Juma witnessed the Mashemeji derby and now reports.
It was a high-voltage match of 90 minutes that was decided by 8 tense spot kicks. Gor Mahia goalkeeper Gad Matthews, the hero of the afternoon, after saving FC Leopards' first 2 spot kicks. After both teams progressed the finals on post-match penalties, the rivalry between arch-rivals FC Leopards and Gor Mahia was bound to have a familiar twist of post-match penalties. Just 4 minutes into the affair at the Nyayo National Stadium, Elvis Rupia blasted the woodwork in what turned out to be the highlight of the first half. After the intermission, FC Leopards had their penalty appeal turned down after Rupia went down in the box under a challenge from Gor Mahia defender Harun Shakava, with center referee Peter Aweru calling for spot kicks after a barren stalemate in regulation time. Captain Isaac Kipiegon and Said Suma missed the first 2 spot kicks for FC Leopards as Kogalo's Sydney Ochieng, Kenneth Muguna, Clifton Miheso and Samuel Onyango coolly converted to win 4-1 despite Ingwe calling on their goalkeeping trump card over Ezekiel Owade just seconds to the final whistle. Gor Mahia, who revenged their 2013 Gotv Shield Cup 1-0 final loss against FC Leopards, seal a return to the CAF Confederations Cup along with 2 million shillings in cash prize. Ingwe, who are the most successful club in the competition, having won it a record 10 times, walk away with 1 million shillings. Earlier at the same venue, Bidco United dispatched Division 1 side Equity FC 1-0 in the third place playoff. After a barren stalemate in regulation time here at the Nyayo National Stadium, Gor Mahia inflicted a painful penalty defeat on arch rivals FC Leopards to seal their return to the CAF Confederations Cup. Goalkeeper Gotv Matthews, the hero of the afternoon. For TV47 Sports from Nyayo National Stadium, I'm Julius Juma.
Thank you, Juma, for that.